Did you know Africa is splitting into two continents? That's right, Africa is slowly breaking up, or breaking, into two pieces and forming a new ocean in the process. This is a result of the shifting of tectonic plates, the huge rocks that make up the Earth's surface. Imagine the Earth as a giant puzzle, with each piece constantly moving. Sometimes these movements cause the pieces, or plates, to drift apart. This is exactly what's happening in Africa. The continent is gradually separating along the East African Rift, an area where the African plate is moving away from the Somali plate. Researchers have found strong evidence to justify this theory, including the finding of a huge crack in Kenya's Great Rift Valley. But why is this happening? What's making Africa to split in two? Let's dig a bit more into the science behind this interesting event. To understand why Africa is splitting, we first need to talk about tectonic plates. Imagine the Earth's crust and upper mantle as a jigsaw puzzle, made up of large pieces known as tectonic plates. These plates aren't static, they're constantly moving, albeit at a snail's pace. We're talking about a speed of a few centimeters per year, similar to how fast your fingernails grow. Now, these plates don't always move smoothly past each other. Sometimes they collide, pull apart, or slide against each other. This movement is the driving force behind some of Earth's most dramatic geological events, such as earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, and the formation of mountain ranges. So, how does this relate to Africa splitting apart? Let's delve into a process known as rifting. Rifting happens when a tectonic plate is being pulled apart due to forces deep within the Earth. As the plate stretches and thins, it creates a rift, a sort of scar on the Earth's surface. This is where the magic, or rather, the science, happens. In the case of Africa, the Somali plate and the Nubian plate, which make up a significant part of the continent, are moving away from each other. This movement is causing the East African Rift, a growing separation in the Earth's crust. As these plates continue to separate, the rift widens, and over millions of years, this process can lead to the formation of a new ocean basin. It's a slow, gradual process, one that has been happening for millions of years and will continue to do so for millions more. It's a testament to the dynamic nature of our planet, constantly reshaping itself in a timescale far beyond human comprehension. Now let's take a closer look at the East African Rift System, where this split is actually happening. The East African Rift System is the place where Africa is literally tearing apart. The East African Rift System, in essence, is a series of cracks in the Earth's surface stretching across thousands of miles, from the Red Sea in the north to Mozambique in the south. It's a fascinating spectacle, where the Earth's crust is thinning, literally pulling Africa apart. But what's causing this? Well, it's all due to the movement of tectonic plates. Africa sits on two tectonic plates, the Nubian plate to the west and the Somali plate to the east. These plates are moving away from each other, causing the land in between to crack and sink. This is what we call rifting. The rifting process is also responsible for the formation of a new ocean. As the plates move apart, magma from deep within the Earth's mantle rises to fill the gaps, creating a new sea floor. This is a slow but steady process, with the rift growing wider by a few millimeters each year. Now, you might be thinking, a few millimeters a year, that doesn't seem like much, but remember, we're talking geological time here. Over millions of years, those millimeters add up. It's estimated that in about 10 million years, the Red Sea will flood the rift, forming a new ocean and leaving a large island in its wake. But the East African Rift System isn't just about land splitting and oceans forming. It's also a hotbed of volcanic and seismic activity. As the Earth's crust thins and cracks, it becomes more susceptible to earthquakes, and the rising magma can also reach the surface, resulting in spectacular volcanic eruptions. So, we're witnessing an incredible geological process in the East African Rift System, the birth of a new ocean, the formation of a new island continent, and a window into the dynamic nature of our planet. So, what does this mean for the future of Africa and our planet? As Africa continues to split, our world map will change dramatically. This process, known as continental rifting, involves the gradual separation of tectonic plates beneath the Earth's crust. It's a slow-moving but relentless phenomenon that will take millions of years to complete. Now let's dive into the future. Imagine a world where Africa as we know it is divided into two distinct land masses. The eastern part, containing parts of Kenya, Ethiopia, Tanzania and the entirety of Somalia, will have separated from the rest of the continent. It's an incredible prospect, isn't it? But it's not just about the creation of a new continent. The rifting will also give birth to a new ocean. As the land masses drift apart, the space between them will gradually fill with water, forming a new sea route that could reshape global trade and navigation. This process is a testament to the dynamic nature of our planet. Even though it's happening right under our feet, it's so slow that it won't affect anyone alive today. However, it's still important to understand. It gives us a deeper insight into the geology of our planet and the forces that have shaped it over billions of years. But here's the real kicker. This isn't the first time something like this has happened. Throughout Earth's history, continents have come together and broken apart multiple times. The supercontinent Pangea, which existed about 300 million years ago, is one such example. What's happening in Africa is just another chapter in this grand story of continental drift. It's a glimpse into the future, a peek into the past, and a testament to the dynamic, ever-changing world we live in. While we won't be around to see it, Africa's split is a fascinating example of the ever-changing nature of our planet.